Good morning everyone. Today my colleague and myself are here to present you the UEE final project for a real world problem for which we have come up with a solution using the help of the technologies available today. So my name is Sarangi. My DIT number is IT 15101266 and I am a SC student.
Okay. Good morning everyone. My name is Munsif Mustafa. My DIT number is IT 15015754 and I am an SC student as well. First of all, we'll look into the problem definition. Why we came up with a solution for this problem. The problem is, imagine this is a personal story of mine which has happened to me more than once. I'm driving on the streets, suddenly my fuel indicator starts blinking on my car dashboard. What I would do, get to the next station, nearest station obviously, in heavy traffic. And once I get to the station, there's a long queue. Basically what I would feel is frustration, anger, everything you can think of. And then once it's my turn, they put up a board saying petrol natha. So no petrol, okay fine. That's my second disappointment for the day. I get frustrated more. I park my vehicle, think and get to the next station. And since it's night, they have a board up. They have obviously they have closed the shed. So I'm thinking to myself, I'm never going to drive again. I'm going to go by bus from tomorrow. But then I was thinking, why has anyone thought of something, a solution for this problem? And that was our light bulb. So we came up with a solution, namely GasMate. This is an application targeted at the mobile platform, obviously because the user segment of ours will be using this not while driving, but while on a vehicle. So in that case, a mobile platform, you wouldn't have a computer sitting around, so mobile platform is the best platform for this. And furthermore, before we deep dive into the application itself, we'll look into the user segmentations and user researches, which will be explained by my colleague.
User segmentation is all about identifying your target audience. So in our case, we have used three types of user segmentation. So first one is behavioral, second one is demographic, third one is psychological. So first one, behavioral, is all about since the application is new to the market, we don't know how the users will react and their attitude, knowledge towards the product. So therefore, starting off with behavioral user segmentation would be the best choice for our application. So therefore, our core or primary user segmentation would be behavioral user segmentation. The next one is demographic user segmentation. So for that we have choose the Sri Lankan market. So the users from the Sri Lankan market will be tested by using the application. So that's the second one. Third one is the psychological one. So in here we will be more considered about the users' interest, opinions and their skills. When we are talking about skills, for our application it's all about the driving skills, and not only the drivers who drive the vehicles but also the ones who use private or public, any transport, any vehicles for their transport. So those also can be considered under our psychological user segmentation. So these three are the user segmentations which we have picked for our prototype. So the next one is the user research. Once we have identified our target user, we have to gather the information, the requirements in order to build up the product. So in that case, we have done the user research in two phases. One is the primary user research and the second one is the secondary user research. First I'll talk about the secondary user research. For secondary user research, we have gone through some blogs, websites, even social medias to gather information regarding the fuel stations and the current issues regarding the traffic details. So these were gathered with the aid of the secondary user research. And for the primary, we have picked some users from a target user segmentation, and we have followed some methodologies to gather information like online surveys, interviews. Online surveys, we have picked around 30 to 35 people from a target user segmentation and gave an online form for them to fill, a questionnaire basically. to fill, and we got some information through that forms. Next one is the interview. Interview also we did it in 3 levels. First one is face-to-face interview, second one is Skype call, third one is voice recording. So in Skype call and face-to-face interview, we also followed eye tracking methodology in order to identify the user's emotions and their experience while they are talking about the issues that they have faced and the need for this kind of an application. So we were able to witness those expressions and their emotions through eye tracking methodology as well. So once we have gathered the information, now we can move to the prototype now.
Okay, so let's deep dive into the prototype application. We'll have a demo for you. So here we'll be looking into our GasMate mobile application running on a Samsung device built with Ionic 3. So as you can see, as soon as the application is fired, the location has been automatically detected. So in this case, the user has very minimal thing to do, and he also already know where he is at. He doesn't have to type in the location. So that is that. And then we'll be selecting the fuel type. Here it's listed as octane 92, 95 and super diesel, and we'll be selecting my personal preference octane 92, and radius as in how many kilometers you are willing to go in reach for petrol. I'll be saying 5 kilometers. As you can see, everything is spaced out, so the padding is enough, everything is enough. So even since I'm using a mouse, you can't see the difference, but if I am to use my finger to demonstrate, that will be pretty clean as well. So there is no there is no fuss between the elements. So as I mentioned, this button here itself is a globally recognized GPS icon. So even if the location is not there, if it's not input correctly due to some network problems, if you click on this button, it's going to be automatically locating your location. And then we have this search button, which we have used an iconography for this, which is a magnifying glass, which is also a globally recognized iconography. But also before we dive into that, I'll be showing this hamburger button, which currently has only 2 elements, but since this is prototype, so but there's going to be more once we change our architectural approach. So okay, now I'll be clicking the search button, which is it's going to fetch the shades and show it in a card UI list of cards. So as you can see here, obviously it has the same images for everything. Since this is a prototype, we are using the same image, but in production application we'll be getting images from reliable sources. But the main highlight of this page is a list of cards which has only the title and the address of the place. So if you know the place, you can simply understand that this station, since this is ordered according to the distance, you can say you can get the idea that Lanka station is the most closest to you, and get to the place. If you're not sure about the place, what you can do is click on a card, and yes, you have the card detail, actually the shed details inside, which shows the address, the distance to the station, time to reach, and available types. So yes, it shows the type of fuel it should contain. Yes, it contains the octane 92, which I selected, and also the available amount in the current filling station. Also, if you know the place, like I said, you can go travel. But if you need some navigational guidance, since this is this is a guide application, there is this navigation which has this navigation icon on the bottom right. You click on it, and it shows from your current location to the destination, which is the Horton Place filling station. Yes. You also get a card which contains a turn-by-turn navigational instructions up at the top. This doesn't block any of the map details, which is the most important one. So that is the main highlight, the main function of our system. Okay, now let's look at the looks and feel of the application. So here we have used this color theme, which is a yellow-orange sort of thing, because what is yellow, what is orange? It screams enthusiasm, joy, happiness and energy. For a person who is driving under sheer stress, under sheer traffic, this kind of color actually soothes you, it encourages you, it gives you more energy. So you don't feel frustration at all. This is according to some researchers. Since we have a very minimal look, but it has all the necessary details. So this actually means you don't need to crumble everything into one. You can have a clean, sophisticated UI with minimal looks. And then we have used this Ionic grid-based layout, which is actually inspired from Bootstrap's grid layout. And also the typography is Google's Roboto font family. But personally I prefer the Microsoft Sago UI. But since this is an Android application, I had to do some research and found that Google had already done tons of research and came up with this Roboto font along with their Lato. But Roboto is the best font for this material design. So, finally we'll be looking into what our branding means. Branding is very important for this application, and as you can see, there is a small icon, sort of a petal filler basically, and also the name itself, the GasMate. It actually screams friendliness. What is a friend? Who is a friend? A friend is someone who helps you. So this application is what it represents. It's a friend for you who helps you at times of needs and in emergencies. And yes, that is a brand that we are planning to build. So and all these are done to enhance and improve user experience. Even though the main functionality is minor, the experience that we give to the user, the search, once you search, showing a loading screen, the list of cards, and the animations and the maps, everything is to improve the user experience. Now that we looked into the demo, my colleague will be explaining about the second round of user testing that we did.
Okay, for this we picked 10 users and we gave a demo video on how to use our application along with the application to the user, so that during the user testing they will have a better understanding of the application. So during the from the user testing we got some positive and suggestions from the users. The positive comments are as follows. Since the application didn't have any logins or request for credit card details or for login credentials, they liked the users liked the application more, and they also felt that this application is very simple and to the point. Also, the color theme and the font we have used really attracted the users, and the information that we provided are to the point, and they really loved it. So for the suggestions, they suggested to improve the performance a bit, like the speed, and also to have the traffic data, so that if the suggested path is having so much of traffic, they can pick another path and go to the destination. Also, some of the users suggested to have the price, which we can consider in future development, and few of them have suggested to have the distance on the card result list itself, so that they don't have to click on it, go into the page and view the distance. So at a glance they can see the distance. Also, instead of having the turn-by-turn navigation in text format, they prefer to have it in voice. So these are some of the suggestions we got, which we will look into future development. So now we can see how we have planned to implement these suggestions in our applications. So that will be explained by.
The new suggestions and the few minor tweaks will be shown in a separate video, which will be screen recorded from the application, from the device, because it would be much more clearer than recording the video of the device through this camera. So I guess that's it for the presentation. Thank you.
Thank you.